All right, Turkish get up. This, you've done this a handful of times with me, but I break it down into a handful of exercises purely because it teaches you one component to the next of the get up.
The first part.
That's why all this is filmed, so you get to come back and look at it all. First up of the get up is you need a good initial roll. So when you're trying to get up that initial roll, the first exercise is you get up, sit up. So you can do it with your kettlebells or even just your hands here like this, feet on the ground, up, overhead, and back down. So that's your first part of a Turkish get up, is the get up, sit up. Now you can try it with a bell or without. I don't mind if you do it without. It's not a fuss to me at all in this instance here because we're learning how to do a get up. A lot of time when you do it with people, get ups are really hard even with just a shoe.
Yeah.
And we will do the shoe. Not shoe-y.
Yeah. Not to be mistaken.
Not to be mistaken with a shoey. This isn't the UFC and it's not Thai Tui Vasa.
Top tier Turkish get up.
Yeah, you've got to do it with a shoey.
And then return the shoe. Back.
Interesting.
Balance. Yeah, you can do it.
So,
There was a challenge going on online where you hold the shoe, literally your shoe, upright the whole way up and then the other way back down.
so we'll be doing that.
What you're about to do.
I'll show you how to do that.
Shit.
No.
So you have to...
So that get up, sit up is this point here, is just literally from here to when I roll. Okay, that makes sense? Yep, that's real simple. That's what the get up, sit up is, because a lot of people struggle in that point. When we get to actually doing the full get up, I will explain an easy way to be able to help create your abdominal tension to help you get off the ground easier. So, one of your next ones is kneeling to standing. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it is difficult for a lot of people to do this. You're resting on your toes. We come up to a full tall kneeling position. Now, without tilting from side to side at all, we come to a kneeling position and then up tall. You reverse down, back to tall kneeling, and sit.
The toes have to be like yours.
Yep. If you have tight feet and ankles, this is hard.
Yeah. And then stand up.
Yep,
I've learned this a different way. So I'm just,
And then back down the same way.
that's fine. This,
the way I do it or was taught was like you come up and then it's to your forearm.
Oh, this is
no, we haven't done the get up yet. This is breaking it down to get to the get up.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, haven't got there yet.
I was just watching it
Just
like,
breaking it down.
okay, this is a different way.
Nope. So this is just breaking it down into sections. So that part there, obviously I've skipped an exercise, I've realised, but I'll get back to it. That part there is when you've gone out of your kneeling position and here to the top of the get up. So I've missed a key element in this part of teaching it all, but that's fine, we'll go back to it in a second. So go with your kneeling to standing. I find the concrete part sucks, so the rubber mats are much nicer. Come to that tall kneeling. We don't want to tilt to the side as we try and bring our leg up. The hard part is doing this without going anywhere to the side at all through your torso. Yep, so that's about trying to stay as strong as you can through your core. It will be a little bit of hip shift, the most minimal amount as possible. So yeah, that's from that point of when you're going from that kneeling windmill to then standing up, like where you're rearranging your lunge and standing up. So your next one, like I said, that I missed in there. So this is really good for opening up your hips. It's called a Shinbox. So left leg lays flat, knee goes out to your side. Bring your right knee by your left foot. And you'll see that I'm up on my toes on that right leg. So this is how I drive out of the ground here. So I'm going to use my toes to drive up. So we come up into a full tall position here, full extension through the hips. Yep, exactly. Perfect. Yep, like that. It's great for opening up the hips, but it's also great for strengthening up your glutes as well to keep your hips open. Now, you're going to look at it and go, where the hell's this one in the get up? So where this comes to in your get up, righto, so the get up, sit up we first did, that's here. We readjust, we go straight arm. Here's your Shinbox. Full extension through the hips. See people all the time doing get ups like this. You've got nowhere to move. It's a big extension through the hips. So then you can slide through, and then we do our kneeling to standing. Voila. Your last exercise that we do to help with this is your windmill. So we stand up, we turn our feet on a 45-degree angle, and we put our hip out. So the hip, knee, and ankle are in a straight line. I said earlier in the day we're going to have to really start watching our hand at various stages. So when we're doing the bottom-up press and the weighters press, you have to watch your hand so you didn't lose the kettlebell. Same thing now. Keep your eye on your hand. Here are my eyes. I'm going to hinge at my hips, hinge, my hand slides down, touches my ankle, and I use my posterior chain to come up tall. Right, so I'm not lunging, it's deadlift. You're hinging at the hips. Arm stays straight, so wrist, elbow, shoulder, all in a straight line. I keep watching, it will turn out, that's fine, but it's all in a straight line, yeah? It's still there? That's what it needs to be. So you always keep your eyes on your hand. The reason why you keep your eyes on your hand is it stops it doing this. So when you throw a bell or something in there, it's going to go bad if you're not watching where the object is. And I see people doing get-ups all the time with the arm out here. You won't have shoulders for too long. And where that comes into when you get up, we did that. So we've gone through, we've brought the leg into here, we're in your kneeling windmill. Or when we're returning down, slide down. Here, it's a windmill. You can see the same action, yeah? So if you can master those 4 movements that I was teaching you, you can do a Turkish get-up. So you break it down for your clients. You turn it into a whole workshop, which I've done all that. We've now got the video for it. I've got all the sales material for it. I'll send it to you and you go ahead and you do it. Workshops are a great idea to solidify you as an expert in your area. And it's extra income. Win-win. So hop up, let's do a windmill. Get a good windmill, then we can do Turkish get-up. You're looking at me with a disgusted look on your face like, do I have to do it? So, feet about shoulder width apart. Right, if they're facing forward, what we want to do is turn them on a 45-degree angle. That's it. We kick our hip out. And it seems, it looks like I've got a beer in my hand. I promise you it's not beer, it's kombucha.
Sure.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, yes.
That's it. Just keep the hips out. That's it. Hinge at the hips. Good. Use the hips to pull yourself up. So it's like a deadlift, but you're on a 45-degree angle. So you should feel the same muscles as a deadlift. Going from hamstring to glutes to lower back. Posterior chain. You just keep your eyes on your hand the entire time. It's the most important thing in your life when you're doing this or the Turkish get up is your hand. The single most important thing. It's the only thing you'll ever watch the whole time you're doing it. Everything else doesn't matter. You need to trust that your body will move how you want it to when you instruct it, because it will. When you start trying to watch where you're going, this goes. And then you add load of any sort, a 600 ml water bottle through to a 30 kilo bell, you will blow your shoulder to bits eventually. It's not always the first time, it's the compounding effort that happens. So always be strong and solid. Never relax that commitment to quality on that point. This should always be stacked. Always like that, no matter where you are in a get up at all. So, let's do the get up. First up, I will teach you without any implements. So no bells, no nothing. So, outside of all the things that we taught you, the absolute key thing to getting a good get up is your setup. You need to think 45-degree angles. So when you're laying down, you can be my little guinea pig. So bring your foot there. So We call your bent leg the lifting leg. For the sake of conversation, just bear with me on that one. Put that on a 45-degree angle, and same with your spare one. Your other hand goes out on a 45 from the body. And when you're going to initiate, press as hard as you can in the ground. Feel your tummy tighten when you do it. Yep, here you go. That gives you that rock solid start. Nice and packed in the shoulder, so your shoulders are going to be nice and strong in there. So what should theoretically happen here is if I grab hold of Chloe by her wrist, you're solid in your shoulder. See how I pull her chest and everything off at once. Well done. She doesn't roll. She didn't flop. Dead straight, stiff as a board. So you're solid through that shoulder. Now, first point you go. Roll up till you land on your forearm. So press that hand in the ground, that's it. Keeping your eyes on your hand above your head. Don't watch me. Just listen to my voice as much as that sucks. Now, extend to a full straight arm. You've already been there, that's fine. Hang on, drop down. That's it. So, no, you're still sitting down. You just got a full straight arm. Yep. Now you need to drive out of your supporting hand and foot as hard as you can to come up into full extension in the hips. Good. Your straight leg, turn it on its side. And then slide it through to your supporting hand. That's the biggest thing. Get it right through. Yep, perfect. No, that's fine. Because now you can adjust your hand. So when it's through to your supporting hand, so you don't want to be balanced right in the ear, you want to back about here. If you can, yep, get that to about here. Behind you in a lunge. So you want to be like that. Yeah, there you go. So the reason why we're like this is if you see with Chloe, Chloe's really good here. We have a nice, good, big base of support. Right, this is perfect. So now, like a windmill, push yourself up to a kneeling position. Good, good, good. That's it. Up. Yep, push up. No, not all the way up, just to the kneeling position. Yep, so you drive right up to your tall kneeling. So you're like this. Yep, perfect. Cool. When you're in this lunge position, still keeping your eyes on your hands. Don't watch me. Hand has to stay vertical. Stand up now. That's your kneeling to standing. Perfect. All right, trust your body here. It knows what to do. Reverse lunge. Now here's the trick that makes it really easy. Trail your hand down your hip till you touch your knee. Now move as far as you can directly out to the side, not behind you. To the side. Make a nice wide base. Excellent. Press out of your supporting hand and foot to be in the tall hip extension. That's it. Then you sit your bum down. Then you carefully come back down onto your forearm and then onto your back. Don't rush the finish. Everyone does. They flop instead of going back down the same way they came up. When you come up, you go elbow to straight arm. When you come back down, you go straight arm to elbow and then control. Because why this is going to be so important that I'm saying these things, you're going to make a fist. You're going to get a shoe and it's going to rest on your fist.
Love it.
I'll borrow this. So this is your challenge. Every time the shoe falls off, start from the beginning. All right. So here, no thumb adjusting here to be able to balance it. So your thumb's out of it. I come up.
You've done this before.
No, I thought I'd throw it in today.
Yeah. Good on you.
First time, huh?
Here.
No.
I'm so young about
Very good.
See, each phase is deliberate. There's a moment of breathing between each time you move. You're not here just going. There's nothing in that. Turkish get up is the greatest core exercise on the planet, even without weight. But it needs to be adhered to with control through each phase, in my personal opinion. Don't rush it because a lot can go horribly wrong and you miss a lot of what the exercise will do in terms of benefit. Take your time. So breathe in, breathe out to move to step one. Then breathe in, breathe out to step two, and so on. So each of those phases I taught you, have a breath in between. Learn to go slow and control. But when you start adding things like a kettlebell, it's important. But if you can't do it with a shoe, and do it time and time again with a shoe, don't add weight. I tell you now, a shoe is just as hard as a kettlebell for anyone beginning out with it. And every time it falls off, start from the beginning. See if you can get one complete one in there. I will make an excuse for the way your arm is when you're pressing. Yeah, no, I mean like in terms of you can't get it fully extended. Yeah, so that's fine. Just do as best as you can in that department. Always keep your eyes on the shoe, trust me. Trust your body knows how to move through the phases. Don't take your eyes off it. Eyes live on that shoe. They live on that shoe. That's all right. Come up to a tall kneeling position now. Kneeling lunge, that's it. Eyes on the shoe, good. Stand up tall. There we go. And reverse. That's it. Don't rush here. Be smooth. Out to your side. Direct out to your side. That's it. Direct out to your side. The bigger the base, the easier it is. Good, Dion. Don't rush. Don't rush. Control. Eyes on the shoe. Control. Control. That's it. You're nearly there. Control. Lower it down to your chest without dropping it. Control. Excellent. It's patience. Should be about half a minute to a minute to do it correctly. Again, as a humble opinion, when you take your time and you control it, it's the greatest thing there is for working the entire body that doesn't require any form of weight. A 600ml water bottle's hard. So to get a good roll up, press that other hand into the ground as hard as you can when you want to start your roll. Makes it a whole lot easier. Feel the difference? That's your, so to speak, hack. Pressing your opposing hand into the floor to get your initial roll off, because that's what gives you that intra-abdominal pressure to keep you stable. You got up and down there without dropping it?
Yeah. What I saw. It's quite happy in my brain for not having my second coffee.
If you feel comfortable. That's it. Good. Patience with it.
Just saying the most complex Turkish get up. That's it, alright? I've seen was a bottoms up, kettlebell, with a cup of water balanced on it. I tried it. Possible.
It can be done, but I'm nowhere near able to.
So it can be done, but it's impossible.
I love that. I've seen it, so it can be done, but it's impossible.
I think it was in the northern hemisphere and they spin a different way up there, so. Bring that pinky in.
That's it. Big extension up now. That's it. That's it. That's it. Good. Don't rush here. You're doing great. Don't rush. Don't rush. Yeah. Good job. It's a patience thing. I really dislike seeing people rush that exercise because it is king. Like if you want to get someone with a good, strong core, it relates to every facet of life. Gives you strong legs, strong arms, strong shoulders, strong midsection, good extension through your hips, a nice open hips, good strong glutes. It teaches you how to get off the bloody floor. You cannot stress enough how important that is as you get older, getting off the floor. And they do say if you don't use it, you lose it. That is a great exercise regardless of whether they're 99 or they're 9. Teach them how to do it correctly. Especially your older people if you work with them. They will thank you. In time they will. They may not at that particular moment, but when they go, I had a fall, and guess what? I could get up without hitting I've had a fall alarm. I have my independence back. Those sorts of things that are untangible, people will never ever forget, and they will tell everyone. When you give them back their independence, their own feeling of self-worth, and their ability to look after themselves. And what I loved working with power bands with, I worked with so many older people with them, and the most common thing that I heard from anyone that did that course and went out and worked with older people with them is they come back and they say, I don't feel like I'm going to fall anymore. Because we trained the body in their systems, and we taught them how to be strong with what that resistance was like. There wasn't a great deal of weight, but there was a great deal of resistance at times for elderly people. And this thing, it made them, we learned how to operate the body, keep it in stable positions and better posture, the strength and how for it all to function together, not just the legs working on their own, but legs through up here into your opposing shoulder, and same on the backside, so working the anterior and posterior oblique sling and all this sort of stuff. Nothing gives me a greater sense of pride when you hear that you've affected someone's lifestyle like that. I couldn't care about how well you look. I know that's great and all, but when you feel like you hear people say, I feel like I can be independent again and I've gained all that back, it's the coolest thing in the world, and that's why I do like a lot of rehab work. I love that. And they will love you for it too, and they will sing your praises to everyone. It'll be the greatest advertisement you'll ever get, helping people do that sort of stuff. And that's a badass movement, whether you've got weight in it or not. You get people doing that, they will have a great sense of achievement. And that's a huge thing for your own community.